Yes. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. It looks like you already work in the medical field or in the healthcare field.
No, I'm over here in my aunt's house.
Oh, okay. You got scrubs on. It looks like you're already
Yeah.
ready to go for our class.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of share some stuff with you, Juanita, I have a PowerPoint to show you also, so it kind of lays everything out as far as class dates go. But I am Liz Claybaugh. I am the Adult Education and Training Director here at the YMCA of Greater Indianapolis. Our department is the Social Responsibility and Community Impact Department. We were newly formed just in January this year. Our CEO, we got a new CEO about a year ago at this point. And well, maybe about 2 years ago at this point, but he really has his thumb on the pulse of the city and is able to foresee things before they happen. And so it was in an effort to provide education to adult learners that we started this department. We started this initiative. And my arm of our department is adult education. That comes in many different ways. Some of it can be helping some to gain their high school equivalency diploma, if that's something that folks are looking for. We can help them with that. Some are looking for workforce development training, so career training, interview help, resume building, and resume writing also. And then also we are offering certification courses. So right now we have started to offer the certified nursing assistant position. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. I want to. Here, our slideshow. Oh, go away. Oh, go away. There we go. Okay, can you all see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So our program is called Project Connect. The reason why we call it Project Connect is because not only do we offer the certification, but we also offer resources, workforce development, and we offer a job fair at the end of our training as well, where we can connect, Project Connect, we can connect our recent graduates directly with facilities and nursing homes, whatnot, who are hiring. I can tell you we just graduated last week on Monday. We just graduated 14 students, and most of those students got a job. One of them got a position at $23 an hour.
Wow.
So that was a huge gain for her. She was super excited. Now, some of the nursing homes and other residential facilities, they are providing hazard pay. So I do expect that's probably what part of that was hazard pay because of COVID. But still, $23 is just a huge amount.
Yeah.
But other students who graduated with us, they were interested in going to secondary education. A lot of them, this is just the first step for them on their healthcare career path. They want to go on and be QMAs or LPNs or RNs, and this is just the first step along the way. So that's what we are. We are an initiative to help provide educational training opportunities to adult learners in the communities that we serve. We do, at the YMCA, we do have 12 facilities throughout Indianapolis. So we are kind of everywhere, whether you know it or not, we are everywhere. And we're here for the community and serve the community. Within our program, starting from June of last year, 2020, man, it's a long year. Starting from June of 2020 until July of 2021, we are looking to serve 161 students. We are about, I'd say, a fourth of the way through that at this point. So we have lots of seats available still. The funding for these CNA classes would be 100% covered by grants. That is $800 worth of tuition and supplies to prepare you for a CNA position. So the funding that we get are from state and from the city and from the state. So we have DWD grant funding, we have Employ Indy, and then we have rapid rescaling, which we are just kind of finishing up. That was through the CARES Act, to put folks through who were affected by COVID. We are keeping our eyes on that, because now that something else is, another stimulus is kind of in the works, we may get some more money for that as well. But as of right now, those are the grants that would pay for tuition. We do have a partnership with Mickey AHEC and Father's Heart CNA Training Center, and then with the Youth Development YMCA as well. The owner of Father's Heart CNA Training Center, Sharice Dunlap, she is the CNA instructor. She has another instructor, June Eaton, who helps her as well. So it's a couple of different instructors in there. And again, we're offering the CNA training. We are also offering a CYC training, child and youth care worker. However, that one's already started. We'll start another one in February, but I think that most of your folks are going to be interested in the CNA program. So what Project Connect is, we are an integrated education and training program. So an IET, that's how we are identified by Department of Workforce Development, DWD. And what that is, I'm not sure if you all can see that. What that is we offer lots of different things. So we offer occupational context. So that would be your CNA content. We offer work-based learning, so that's during clinicals. You are actually in there with the residents, having those actual personal experiences. We do offer college and career readiness standards. So again, whether you kind of want it or not, you do within this IET, you do get resume building, resume writing, application experience, interview questions and preparation, kind of everything that revolves around workforce development, getting a job and keeping a job. We teach that to you. And then again, those employability and soft skills. So sometimes teamwork, speaking with a leader, speaking with your supervisor, working in a new field that you maybe not have worked in before. That is all of what is included in your IET, your integrated education training. So with that, the classroom, they do consist of a vocational teacher, so your CNA instructor. We also have an education specialist in the classroom for support. The specialist is just an extra set of eyes in the classroom. They are not CNA certified. However, they've gone through the class with the students several times. They are not certified, but they are licensed teachers. So anything that Sharice or Miss June might be teaching, they can be there to help support that learning. If they need to come at it from a different angle as far as learning styles go, they are able to do that based on their backgrounds as teachers. And it just really gives the students that extra boost of confidence to complete the program, to stick with it and complete the program. Again, anybody would be working on employability skills. And we have a career connector, which I sort of serve as a career connector for any job opportunities that are coming up, placement opportunities. Again, that job fair that we have at the end of graduation is something that I set up. This last graduation, we had, I believe, five different facilities who were hiring. And again, a lot of our students got jobs after that, and that is the goal. Let's see. So, expectations for this program. It is a very, very accelerated program. The CNA portion in itself is only 6 weeks, 3 weeks of classroom, 3 weeks of clinicals. So you must attend 98% of those classes. We do ask for that complete commitment of attending 98% of the classes, really 100% of the classes. If you miss one class, especially in the classroom, it's like missing an entire week of school. There's so much information that's thrown on each day that it's super important to be there for each day. So we do ask for a really strong commitment. Some students in the past have had to make some arrangements with their work schedules, and that generally works out. We have a form also that if a student needs to present something to their employer to get that time off, we can do that with our YMCA letterhead on it. I'm happy to speak with employers directly if it means that we're able to get students in the class. I can do anything that needs to be done to get those students in the seats. We do have, based on which grant a student would fall under, we do have a requirement of having a TABE reading test completed. That's really kind of it just takes an hour. It's figuring out where your education level is, mostly because with the CNA content, you have to be able to understand what you're learning. And so as long as you're coming at us with generally kind of a 6th grade reading level, you're good to go for the class. But again, we do like to test students ahead of time so that if they are good to go, then they're good to go. And if they need maybe a little remediation or some support in order to get into the class and complete the class, we're able to do that as well. Any homework that is assigned by the education specialist or by your CNA instructors is required. We do use Google Classrooms for all of our communication. Our students really have seemed to love it. It's something that's easily accessible on their phones. Our education specialists, they post in there every single day. They post videos of skills that the students need to learn and retain and eventually test out on. I also post some things regarding resumes and other job fairs that might be happening in the city. So there's a lot of information on Google Classrooms, and our students become very proficient at that when they are at the end of the class. We do have access to Chromebooks. So if a student comes in and they don't have a mobile device or they don't have a laptop to bring to class, it's not an issue. We have those to loan during class time. And then of course, we all live in the time of COVID. So we will also always make sure that we are following our safety guidelines and regulations, wearing masks, social distancing as much as possible. We do split the class up into 2 separate classes. So there's generally about 12 students per class, but even within those classes, we keep them in pods, different pods. That way, if somebody does have an exposure, we don't have to dismiss the entire class, just maybe those that are within that pod. We do have some alternative plans as well if the city shuts down again. So hopefully we don't have to do that, but we have gotten the go-ahead to continue with those classes in person because CNA workers are essential workers.
Okay.
So again, there's some important dates to know. Limited spots are available, though it's a little flexible. I can send an email to both of you and to any other student that, Ms. Mary, that you have on your list. I can send an email to all of those folks with the application.
Yeah, be sure you send it to me because we have 3 or 4 coaches that may have other people just like I do.
Perfect.
I'll share this Zoom with them and let them orientate them, their people too.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. We'd love to reach as many folks as possible. Again, we've got the dollars. We just need the students to be aware that the class is available, make the commitment, and then be ready to start on a different career path and have a different outcome as far as their education goes. We will require, so in an email to you, Ms. Mary, I will send the application, and there's another document there as well that you can forward to anybody who is interested. Juanita, I'm sure that you'll be included in Ms. Mary's email.
Yes.
Then the application process, because we do have kind of in each cohort, we have about 30 to 35 seats that we're looking to fill. So we want to make sure that we are being aware of our time on that. So we do have a requirement that applications and paperwork can be returned to me by December 1st. That's a Tuesday. It's a quick turnaround after that. By December 4th, that Friday, acceptance letters will go out to students. And then they must confirm by Saturday, December 5th. And then after that, then the education specialist and I, we make contact with the students. We have several different days and times of office hours that these accepted students can come into our office and complete their paperwork ahead of time. That way we're not eating up classroom time with a bunch of paperwork.
Right.
So we just jump right on into it. Again, if for some reason a student is not selected to be in the first cohort, they can be in the next cohort. Here are our dates. This is going to be a big one, Mary, that your moms are going to want to know. So right now we are looking to fill cohort number 3, which is January 11th through March 10th. We're looking to also fill cohort 4, March 8th through March 5th. These end dates, March 10th and May 5th, those are the dates of graduation. So you can see it's 2 months of a commitment, 3 days a week, and you are graduated with a certification, with likely a job offer, and your life kind of changes from there for the better. Within those timeframes, the first 3 days, so the first week of class would be orientation, where you're spending it with me and with our education specialists, just kind of getting you acclimated to the software that we use, Google Classrooms, any of the books that the students need for class, just getting them prepared to start class. Then let's see, so it's 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, for those orientation dates. So January 11th, 12th, and 15th for cohort 3. Cohort 4 is March 8th, 9th, and 12th. The classroom section follows directly after that. Again, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 5 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. I didn't put up there an orientation, but orientation is always done at the Avondale Meadows YMCA that's over on the east side of town, near east side. Again, classroom is done either at Avondale Meadows YMCA or at the Abby Bryce Hunt home, which is just around the corner from them. We do that again so we can have more space, and so we can split the class up. Instead of having 24 or 30 students in a class, we'd have generally about 15 to 17 students. So smaller classrooms mean a little more individualized attention for you.
Liz,
Yes?
do you offer childcare during class?
We do. We offer, so during orientation and during the classroom section, we are able to offer childcare through our YMCA Play and Learn. Generally, if we have moms who need to utilize Play and Learn the whole time throughout orientation and classroom, we generally put them at the Avondale Meadows Y for their training, because then they can go down and check on their kids and whatnot. The Abby Hunt Bryce home, we might send some students over there who maybe don't have a need for childcare or who don't have children, because they are not able to provide childcare there. But that's something that our students now, I think that we have 8 students who are utilizing childcare on a regular basis, and it's working out really well for them. That is free of charge. It comes with the program. You don't have to pay for that whatsoever. So you can bring the kids in from 5 to 8:45 p.m. They can be in the classroom. We have our AmeriCorps students who are working with them. They have a curriculum that they're working with the kids during that time. So they'll be doing arts and crafts. They'll be doing kind of some fun activities. So it's not just a play time for 4 hours. They actually have some purpose in there as well. And then transportation is another barrier, that initial barrier that some of our students face. We do have the option for to give out bus tickets if somebody's close to a bus line or right on a bus line. That's generally worked out for several of our students. We also are looking into there are Lyft gift cards that we might be able to get our hands on before cohort 3 starts. So that one's in the works. But right now we can do bus tickets. That's just something that we have to arrange ahead of time during that December time when we're doing paperwork and whatnot. So we just have to know ahead of time, you need childcare, you need help with transportation, and we'll set that all up before the January or March time. So the classroom for for the cohort 3 is January 18th through the 5th, February 5th. Again, classroom for cohort 4 is March 15th through April 2nd. Then you roll right into your clinicals without a break. Clinicals time is longer. So the classroom, you must have 35 hours of classroom content. And then clinicals is 75 hours worth of work. So in total, you'll do over 105 hours worth of CNA and basic education work within this program. So clinicals, again, are Mondays and Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It's a long shift, so it reflects what a CNA shift really is. And then Saturdays from 7 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. Again, it reflects what a real CNA shift would look like. They get a lunch or a breakfast or a dinner break, however that works out for them. And clinicals there again are 3 weeks, so February 8th through February 27th for cohort 3, and cohort 4 is April 5th through April 24th. I don't have the last dates on there, but you come back after these 2 dates, you come back to us in the classroom for a week. Where Miss June and Miss Sharice, they go through, they do makeup with you if you need to make any time up. We do our last bit of testing for our grant. And then once you have done your testing for the grant for us, then we will pay for the state exam, the CNA state exam, which is about $200 as well. So we do put things in place. We do put benchmarks in place to make sure that you are meeting your goals, but that we're also fulfilling the requirements that we have from the city and the state for our grants. And we're happy to do all of that. Like I said, the tuition is generally about $800. That's going to be paid for by the grants. With that, you get you get your books, you get your specialists, you get your CNA instructor, you get the experience in the classroom, you get your experience with the clinicals. We buy students 1 set of scrubs. We buy students a stethoscope. And then generally at graduation, we give you kind of a goodie bag that has some CNA related items in there as well. So what questions do y'all have?
I don't know. I think everything sounds great. You said on the application part, it said something about an essay. Do we have to write an essay as well?
We do ask you to write an essay, and this is a requirement with Mickey AHEC. So they're with the University of Indianapolis. We do ask for students to write us an essay of just explaining why you want to be a CNA, why you want to join our program, why you want to be a CNA. Because we do like to, again, with our grants, we do like to track the progress of our students. The more successful our program is, the more money we will get in the future to put more students in the seats. And so we do report back to the state our student success stories. So to see where a student is at the very beginning and to see where they're coming out at graduation. And then I also follow up for a full year quarterly. I follow up with students who have graduated to make sure that they're still employed, if they have a different employer, if they need to come back to a job fair to get different employment, or if they want to come back and get some more schooling, we can provide all of that for them.
That's great.
Yeah, we have a huge list of resources that not just childcare and transportation, we have a whole gamut of resources that we can utilize to help students work through any barriers that they may have. Just for an example, we had a couple of students, but we had one student who on the 3rd day of class, just this last cohort, her house burnt to the ground. And so I was able to connect with her nearly immediately. That night she had the American Red Cross come out to her place, and they gave her a gift card with some money on it. So she was able to get some clothes and some food and figure out where she was going to live, or at least for a couple of weeks while they were fixing her up with another place. We had another, and she ended up graduating. We had another student just this last cohort who was facing some domestic issues. So though she was not able to complete graduation, we were able to connect her with some resources to help her through that situation. She has now been re-engaged, and she's going through our cohort 2 right now currently, and is on track to graduate in January. So, you know, we've got the resources to help any student kind of through anything that may come along the way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an excellent program.
Good. The biggest hurdle that we face as a provider is to really get that 100% student attendance and buy-in from the students. Some folks, you know, we completely understand that barriers are in the way, but really, if we can really get students to commit to 3 days a week for 8 weeks, it turns their life around. It really does. I mean, getting paid, going from making maybe $8 an hour to $23 an hour, that's game. That's
right,
game
to making 14, 15. Yeah, you're right about that.
It is. And so because there's so much, because there's so much at stake, we do ask for that buy-in. We ask for students to really commit. Don't just show up, because if the student is accepted, but then trails off with attendance, then we can't allow them to stick with the program. And then unfortunately, they're taking up the spot of another student who might be able to really commit to that program.
I really like the time, because right now I don't work, so that's like perfect for me. And so I can be willing to give all my time. I'm ready to give all my time, because this is something that I've been wanting to do for many, many years.
That's great,
so
Juanita.
I'm very excited, and I'm ready to do the application today.
Great. Hey, Liz, at the end, when they come back into the classroom for that last week, do they take a test at that time? Did you tell us that? I missed it if you did.
Yes, they take several tests, actually. They take, you know, so the first week when they were with us doing paperwork and whatnot, they take that reading test for for our grant. So then that last week when they come back to us, right around there, we're usually flexible on that date. They do the post test for us for that grant.
Okay.
And then they do, so that's for us. And then for the CNA portion of it, they have to do the state exam. And then Charisse also has somebody from the state come in to check off their RCPs. So those are just, it's like a list of 75 skills that CNAs have to prove that they know how to do that. Whether it's washing hands, you know, turning a resident over correctly, brushing teeth, washing different parts of a resident's body. It's those things that the state examiner would come in and check off a student for. So yes, the last week is kind of full of tests, but our specialists are there all along the way and can help out. Of course, they can't tell them the answers, but they can definitely help prepare the students. They give out study guides, they give out quizzes just to prepare students for all of that. I can tell you Charisse, who owns Father's Heart Training Center, she has a 100% graduation rate. So any student that she has given the state test to has graduated. They've passed their exam and are
Oh, that's a huge endorsement of your class.
Yeah.
She and June are really great teachers. They really put all of their effort into it. And it's really, I mean, that's the goal, right? To go through the class and to graduate and get the job.
Right.
Yeah. So do you have any other questions?
Ms. Fields, I can help you with your essay. We could work over at Edna Martin or do it over the phone, or, you know, I can help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let the essay trip you up. It's just, tell us why you want to be CNA.
I know.
It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be this, you know, wonderfully written essay. We just want to hear your heart.
Yeah, I want to hear from what you, my perspective, how I feel, why I want to. Okay, no problem.
That's right. We
easy.
had one or two of our students have been, they wanted to go through the class because they themselves, by default, they became a caretaker of their own parent. And so without having the skill behind it, they you know, took care of their parents and then their parent passed through no fault of their own, of course. They just, that's just how it happened. And then they realized that that's really where their heart is. They had a servant's heart, and they wanted to get into the healthcare field. And then this opportunity presented itself to them to do it free of charge.
Yeah, because it's very expensive.
It is super expensive. It's super expensive.
Yeah.
And most of the CNA programs that you see are not going to be so accelerated. It's going to take a little bit longer for those to be completed. Yeah. So really, it's kind of a wonderful thing to think day one when you come into the class, by, in 2 months. In 2 months, you can have a different paying job, and anybody can do something for 2 months.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, it all sounds great. I really look forward to receiving the application materials from you, Liz.
Yeah, great.
So, like I said, I've got three ladies who are interested.
That's great.
Right now, so maybe they could be, classmates.
Absolutely. Yeah, we would love that. And we're always looking for students. One of our grants that we are looking to fill right now, it kind of targets age and zip code. So the age would be between 18 and 26, with the zip codes being 46205, 08, 18, 46235, and then there's one more in there. But then we have another grant that is, as long as you're a Marion County resident, you're good to go. Again, I cannot stress enough to any moms who are watching this video, I can't stress enough that commitment is key. If you cannot commit to the class, then you won't really be successful. You have to get it on your calendar, make arrangements with any kind of employer that you currently have. If you need documentation from me, from the YMCA, that proves that you're going through the class, all you need to do is ask me, and I will send that send that along the way. But you have to commit to the class, commit to your future, and commit to having a different path for yourself. Anything else?
Well, thank you so much.
We have these applications in by December the 1st.
December 1st. Yep. I'll include all of that information, and I'll include this this PowerPoint in my email to you as well, Miss Mary.
Yeah, great. That'd be great.
So then students can review it on their own, and you can see those dates in front of you. And when you are preparing ahead of time, you can get those dates on the calendar.
Okay. Deal.
And if you want me to do this live with another group of moms, or with another group, it's not just for moms, it's for men as well. So,
I just mostly have moms on my
right. Yeah. And CNA is generally a kind of a female heavy field.
Yeah.
Though jobs don't have genders, right? But we definitely welcome any men that want to join the class as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to pause the recording. Hold on a second.